Welcome to the Cosmic Echoes on this lovely, it feels like autumn already, morning.
It's suddenly, boom,
Suddenly,
we've stopped summer and we're in autumn. It's
yeah,
bizarre. It was so
yeah,
quick.
it was a little bit too quick, but I expect there will be a lot of things still happening. Hopefully, sunshine is involved.
Yeah, let's hope. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. So, how are you doing, Sue, on this lovely
Good,
morning?
actually. Yeah, I'm really good. I've been very busy with the Shift Network.
Yeah,
So I'm looking forward to our little video that that's going up for anyone who signs up, that you'll be able to see a video between Michelle and I talking about the importance of resilience in difficult times. So that's been really fun. Um,
yeah.
yeah, and apart from that,
Busy, busy with creating this course as well.
crazy world.
Yes, yes.
How are you doing?
Oh, not so great, but there are moments in between that become longer, you know.
Yeah.
Grief is a there's no script for it, you know. There's no, okay, it's going to take 5 days and then you're going to feel like this and um yeah,
No, it's so personal, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
It really is, and you can be motoring along, and then
Mm.
boom, the wave comes again.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's suddenly in the middle of the night or
Yeah.
walking down the road. But yeah, so
Mm.
and it changes one, I think, completely. It's like you almost have to move into a different space to make things worth experiencing. Yeah.
I know. I mean, this sounds such a cliche.
Mm,
I think when we experience grief, if those of us that really engage with it and don't push it away,
mm.
I mean, you can't actually. You just you just create it yourself into a prison, don't you?
Yeah.
There is this sense of real deepening. And I'm
Yeah.
very interested at the moment how the Gnostic teachings are beginning to really step up into the zeitgeist,
Mm,
and what this means, and for us to remember that this is a learning ground. It's so easy to forget if the Gnostics are true. I mean, we've got
yeah.
it's a way of looking at how to make sense of life. But I do feel because they're so ancient and they're leaning on the Hermetic teachings, which
Mm,
earlier,
mm.
and they go back to sort of Egyptian and Greek time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's same but different. The Hermetic teachings are slightly different, but there is this sense of we have, the nos is knowledge,
Mm.
to remember the fact where we're from, and we're not from here. We're from another, we do carry this divine spark of something.
Yeah. I like that I mean, even the Hermetics say that there's only half truths. All truths are half truths because, there isn't, I think for me, there isn't just one way. There are elements of different things which kind of bring us into touch with our own wisdom because we carry the wisdom, we know these things. Um, but the Hermetics kind of awaken that in a little bit. There's no, you know, Bible of the Hermetics. It's all kind of secret, it's astrology and the symbolisms of that, and it's alchemy and the symbolisms of that, and all those bits. While Gnosticism again brings Sophia, which is the divine feminine, which is the goddess of wisdom. So I'm very interested in her. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Um, and she is that all knowing that philosophia philosophy, the love of wisdom, it's all connected. There's all bits that we can take from everything really.
Yeah, and it feels very strong that Sophia's coming back. I've been watching a lot of very interesting YouTubes on Sophia
Oh
and
yeah,
reading a lot about Sophia. And
yeah,
it's fascinating mythology for anyone that really wants to get into this, which
yeah,
we haven't got the time to go into today.
yeah,
But the divine feminine is coming is in the zeitgeist. There's no
yeah.
question about she's coming back for that. Yeah,
I'm starting this one. I have been for a
fantastic.
while. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it is, I think it really is about the chaos of the world
Mm.
only really resolve itself when the masculine principle and the feminine principle stand together as a unit.
Which is the Hermetic teachings. All
Uh,
things have gender, so it is the opposites, but there's no one stronger. They have to, and they're different. We
yeah,
can't be like the other. Yeah,
yeah,
so we can talk
yeah.
about that for hours, I think.
I know, and that is the alchemical marriage, you know. So we're
Exactly.
trying to find a balance to go back into that sacred marriage. So, and
Mm.
that's very much the work of Hermeticism.
Yeah,
That is the teachings. It is the sacred marriage, and we've
yeah.
just forgotten. So, let's hope all the chaos, all the grief that we're experiencing is leading us back into this understanding that that everything in this physical plane is made of the masculine and the feminine. Now that's not being sexist.
No, there's no sex to these genders,
It's
though,
just
Yeah,
is.
yeah. It just
Yeah.
is. We all have both within us.
Yes.
Even as Jung also went and he called it the animus and the anima, but there is a dance between these energies and vibration and all of these polarities. There's always opposites. I love the Hermetic teachings.
Yeah.
It's really kind of awakens the wisdom within ourselves, I think, when we look at it deeply.
Yeah.
And I mean, the word occultism, that was the big thing for me. How were we taught that this is a bad thing? It's not. It's just means it's hidden.
Yeah.
That's
It
how.
is. Yes, so and I do feel that it's very strongly she's coming back, but
Mm,
not as an angry female.
no,
That's
no,
not about
no.
this. She carries the wisdom, and she's very much in the tarot cards. If you look at the High Priestess, it's very much Sophia energy, and
Mm,
also the Empress is very much Sophia energy because she's also fecund.
yeah,
But this whole concept that she knows. So
yeah,
I'm fascinated by this. I feel like this is part of the big shift that's
yeah.
happening is the Gnostic and the Hermetic teachings. The Hermetic teachings aren't necessarily teaching their principles. They're
Well, yeah,
yeah,
that's it. This is this little book. It's a
yeah,
tiny little book, but it's got these just it's seven principles. And we know them. We live by them. They've
yeah.
been bastardized a little bit
They have
within,
been.
yeah, the modern
Yeah,
self-development world, or I don't know what we call it, whatever it is. But if we really look into it, we know this. Like this is our inner wisdom. We've forgotten, and we are
yeah.
moving towards remembering again.
I think it's really important to understand that the original Hermetic teachings came from the what we call the Emerald Tablet.
Hmm.
And it's beautiful, the Emerald Tablet. It's very short and it's there to for reflection. It's not there to say this is how it is. It's there for us to reflect on the fact as above, so below, as in
Within,
so
so without.
without, all of that. The concept of the balance of the masculine and the feminine.
Hmm.
And then the seven principles were developed much, much later.
Yeah.
And I think I remember his name is Atkinson, and the book was called Kybalion. I can't remember offhand, but and that was around about 1908 or something like that. And that's when he created the seven principles. But
Mm.
originally, then they weren't that. That's
Yeah.
not what it was
Well,
about.
I think it's this one that you're talking about, the Kabbalion.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So it's the
yeah,
three initiatives wrote this, but it's based on,
that's
and I
it.
can never say his name properly, but the
Yeah,
guy from way back, the Egyptian
yes.
times.
Well,
Um,
it's actually Hermes
that's it.
Trismegistus. Yes, absolutely.
Trismegistus.
So yeah, so it's all really interesting, and I feel Hermes Trismegistus is coming back into our consciousness as
Yeah.
well. So the Hermetic teachings are coming back, or the principles are coming back, and they influence Gnostic teachings, but
Mm.
all the way back, it was Plato
Yeah,
started all of
yeah,
this off. Good
yeah.
old Plato.
Well, Plato had a feminine side to him because his teacher was a female woman, So there's all these things that kind of
Yeah,
go together, and we know certain things, but there's always a a moving away from what we've been taught instead of what we remember, kind
ex
of concept.
exactly.
Yeah.
So let's all start remembering truly that this is just an experience here
Mm.
in this material world, and it's how we relate to this experience that matters. So that's the
Mm.
teachings. And
Yeah.
on we go with astrology.
Yeah. One
Thank
of
you,
the
astrology.
Hermetic.
Astrology, I would never have entered into really
Mm.
looking deeply at the Hermetic teachings or the Gnostic teachings. So I'm
Mm.
deeply grateful to astrology for that.
Yeah.
So, okay, should we just go for it?
Let's go for it. We are going into September, so we're just on
We
the
are.
19th of August. There's lots of things happening in the world, and we can see it on the charts, I think.
Well, it's interesting. So Saturn, Pluto, Neptune, Chiron, and Uranus. Well, Uranus goes retrograde on the 6th of September. So all
Yeah.
of them are retrograde. So this is time to really step back and reflect. And Saturn is going, so see, she switches into Pisces on the 1st of September. So
Yeah.
Saturn is going back into Pisces. So again, I just feel like she's saying, Saturn is saying, what do you believe?
Yeah.
What's true? What is
Yeah.
really true? So that sort of nebulous Piscean energy and Saturn going, come on,
Mm.
we've visited, we've moved into Aries, we've got a little bit of that going. Now we're going to go back and review what your
Yeah.
beliefs are. So I think that's going on. I think the other thing is for me, which is really interesting, Pluto, Neptune, Chiron, and Uranus are all the outer planets.
Mm.
If you've got the outer planets retrograde in your chart, you're sometimes really out of step with your
Yeah.
generational mission or themes or whatever. You can feel really out of step with it all. So
Yeah.
I think there's something going on there collectively, globally, and yeah, it's going to be, yeah. And obviously, as we've both been talking about, Pluto is going out of bounds on the 29th
That's right. Today.
today of
Yeah.
August. Yeah, today. So, oh gosh, Pluto out of bounds. There's not a lot of research done on Pluto out of
Mm.
bounds. Um, but
And
I
just
think
to say, out of bounds means,
it's gone beyond 20, 23, 27 degrees of the
mm,
ecliptic. And it's this outer bounds is south. So you've
yeah.
got the ecliptic at the north and you've got this band, and then you have 23 degrees, 27
Yeah.
below. And then so Pluto's gone out of bounds down there.
Mm.
Pluto out of bounds. When a planet goes out of bounds, it's not it's just free fall. And Pluto
Yeah.
is the lord of transformation and transmutation and taking us into the underworld.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be there till mid-November. It's
Hmm.
out of bounds for 86 days. We'll see.
Yeah. And it's retrograde. So it's retrograde out of bounds.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
So, there's a lot of inner work going on, and we've been talking about death and dying, and it
Mm.
does feel that a lot of people are facing mortality, facing death, dying. So we'll
And
just have to
facing
see.
grief.
And
It's always for me,
huge
there's
grief. That's Pluto.
Yeah, there's always that polarity or that thing between,
Yeah.
dying. It's one thing for dying, but it's for those that stay behind. So there's a lot of sadness, there's a lot of grief I feel in the world, with all the other big stuff happening.
Yeah,
And
the collective grief.
yeah, yeah.
And the great question, why?
That's always the question though. Why? Why them? Why me? Why
Yeah.
this? Why,
Yeah.
especially within that process
Yeah.
of loss and trauma and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it may be that these, that with Pluto out of bounds, sort of free fall,
Mm.
or free sort of pottering about doing his own thing.
Out
I
of control,
mean, don't
really,
forget
away
all of this
from.
is archetypally, it isn't actually physically, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to
Well,
wait
we'll
and see.
see.
Things are getting much more intense, though. That is absolutely for sure. Much
Mm.
more intense. So we'll just have to wait and see. And Uranus goes retrograde on September the 6th.
Mhm.
So again, retrograde, it's, when the stationary thing, when a planet goes stationary, it's much more intense. So
Yeah.
I let's just cross our fingers
Yeah.
that it isn't
Uranus is.
another explosive thing,
Yeah.
and that I maybe I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. It's so difficult to forecast, but we just know that there is a potential here for something explosive to happen again
Yeah.
globally, to
Yeah.
affect us globally. It's, Uranus is a outer planet.
Yeah.
And it'll affect our psyche because it is transpersonal. It's
Yeah.
our seeing. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
And
And
Uranus is
that
also kind of the unexpected shocks and
it's the shock,
surprises.
the surprises, the unexpected, but it's also the great awakener.
Yeah.
That's why there could be just, there could be a global just, oh my God, we get it. Maybe that's why the Gnostic teachings and the Hermetic teachings are stepping forward to fill the gap. People don't understand what faith is anymore.
Yeah.
They've lost faith. And if you don't have faith, you walk around on a three-legged table that's always falling over because you've got to grow the fourth leg of faith to have a
Yeah.
solid base. It's really
Mm.
important. So maybe that's what it is, and maybe a new faith will come from all of this. That could be
Yeah.
Uranus's gift to us, the Great Awakener.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Be even faith in ourselves.
Well, yes, but
Yeah.
I think to have faith in something that it's not a religion, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a collective that you come
Yeah.
together and you just go, oh, and it's lovely. I mean, I haven't prayed. I haven't prayed with people for a long, long time. I've
Mm.
meditated with people, and it's just such a lovely experience. But I don't go to the Orthodox Church.
Yeah.
Isn't
No.
my calling.
Yeah.
But people that do and find community there, it's a beautiful offering.
Oh, definitely, definitely, and there is a lot in that, but it's also not just that. I think is what I mean. Like faith can be many things. It doesn't need to be within a church building or whatever it is. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, absolutely not. And Christ did teach that.
exactly. He was the main person that showed us that
Yeah.
it's not just for certain places. Yeah.
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 So, I've just been reading so much about what happened to early Christianity, what
Mm,
happened to the Gnostic teachings, because they believed in reincarnation and the
mm,
pre-existent soul, and the
mm,
Christian church when it was coming up with Constantine, when
mm.
he, created the first meeting in Nicaea, just said, this is the doctrine. And it wasn't that they chucked uh, reincarnation teachings out of the Bible. They just weren't included. That
Yeah.
just didn't work for them. So it wasn't going to, it was never, they were never included. So I think, and that goes back, I mean, when you look at Augustine and
Yeah.
what Augustine did, and he stepped up after Constantine and said, right, we're not having this. There's no astrology. None of that stuff, rubbish is going to go on. And there's no reincarnation. If you do that, you're a heretic. It is
Yeah,
against
it's evil, it's a
evil.
cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
his influence
Mm.
is 16 centuries later, we still believe him. What?
Exactly, exactly. It's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
insane. It's insane.
It's
It's
insane.
insane that anyway, I'm not going to go into it
Yeah.
because I get cross.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here we are talking about Gnosticism and Hermeticism, which is yummy, and astrology, and we're not going to
Yeah.
be on the fire today, which is very comforting thought.
It's a good thing.
Yes.
Progress.
So big, but the big news, obviously, for September is the eclipse.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
Yeah.
starting eclipse season.
We're
Well,
starting,
yeah,
well, it's only two eclipses,
it
but
is
yes,
too.
we are. And so the first one is on the 7th. So literally the day after Uranus goes retrograde, the full moon peaks on December the 7th, and we go into the eclipse in Pisces. So Pisces. It's the great dissolver. It's the great spiritual sign as well. It's a
Mm,
sign of the collective. So it's really interesting, isn't it? Where do we go with all of these sort of archetypal energies? But it's a time because the sun is in the opposite sign of practical Virgo,
mm,
practical service. So there may well be a call to that.
yeah.
It's it and not to, I think it's this all of September is about what do I believe. It's got such a lot of Piscean energy going on. And I do feel that. And we've got Saturn at 29 degrees on this
Uh,
lunar eclipse in Pisces. And Saturn, as I've just said, is about what do you believe? Saturn in Pisces, what do you believe?
yeah. Oh, Saturn is retrograde in Pisces
Yeah,
and
yeah.
29 degrees on the lunar eclipse in
It's
Pisces.
just about on it's a little it's a bit wide to be fair, but
Yeah.
it'll do. It'll do.
Yeah.
It's 29 degrees, very, very that the 29 degree we call the anaretic degree. It's very, very powerful, strong potency at 29 degrees. So there is going to, I think, I'm going to put, I think faith is going to start being spoken about a lot and about people wanting to find faith in something beyond celebrity or influencers because it's vacuous.
Yeah.
I'm just going to, I'm interested in this.
Yeah. Or government for that matter.
Or, yeah, I mean, it could be, but I
Yeah.
think it's faith. I think it's spiritual faith in something beyond something greater. We've got to, people are really, I need to make sense of what's happening here. I don't
Mm,
understand it. And
mm,
the human concepts don't answer it for me, but maybe
yeah.
the divine does.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to wait and see. It's um, yeah, so I would say um yeah, I would say just focus in on or open up to what faith and belief mean to you.
Mm,
And something might surprise you. That's what I would say.
yeah. And
Yeah.
once again, faith and religion are not the same thing, because I think
Yeah. Yeah.
that's also coming up a lot as to the patriarchal influences of
Yeah.
religion specifically.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I think it is time to start um really addressing those
Mm,
the imbalance, but
yeah.
without turning it into another war. That's the big thing.
Well, this is the thing, yeah, and this is where the divine feminine has such a big role to play because she is the yin energy, the hang on a minute, let's stand back, let's feel into this and be present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting is when eclipse seasons happens, there's sort of amplifying of sort of this sense of transformational energy.
Mm,
I just think yeah, I think it's all about faith, but making it practical because you can escape into, oh, I don't know. I mean, lots of channeling, or I've got my angels around me, or I've got my guides around me, which is lovely.
yeah, yeah.
is, faith is more than that to a lot
Mm.
of people, to a lot of people. And I think we need our feet on the ground,
Yeah.
and to really know, to really feel the faith, not to
Mm.
spout it. I'll put it that way, not to spout it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's going on. Let me just have a look here. Jupiter is making a lovely trine to the moon in Pisces. So that's a beautiful aspect. So Jupiter is very bountiful, and it's in Cancer. So the moon rules the sign of Cancer, obviously, of Jupiter. So I think there is this sense of the Divine Mother coming back. I'm going to put it out there.
Yeah.
That we've got the moon in Pisces,
Yeah.
the Divine Mother, and then we've got Jupiter expanding all that in Cancer, which is all about home and nurturing and safety and being ruled by the moon. So
Mm.
that's where my money goes, my
Yeah,
interpretation.
I love that there's the polarity, the genders there, because we have Saturn at 29 degrees, which is a masculine kind of figure. Uh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So Saturn is grounding this. I think this is
Yeah.
all about we must start getting grounded about it and not sort of sailing off into goodness knows what. So is there anything else I need to say about that? No. Yeah, we've talked about that. Oh yes. So Neptune is retrograde in Pisces. It will be going back into Pisces. So it is dissolving illusions. It's carrying on that very subtle, nuanced energy about dissolving illusions. So kind of I think Neptune may be going back into Pisces, or being very drawn in to
Yeah.
this eclipse.
Mm.
There could be this sort of sense around seeing behind the veil, and that's the beautiful, that lovely Gnostic
Yeah.
image of the curious, I suppose, the astronomer or astrologer peeping through
Yeah.
the veil. I love that. So let's everybody start peeping through the veil and seeing what's really there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it could be a spiritual purge, or suddenly seeing the light, and just be careful you don't get more confused. I mean, that's the other side of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. But it's
So
definitely a big one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's an important time,
Mm.
really, for faith, and especially with
Mm.
Pluto out of bounds.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
very much, it brings me back to this Persephone kind of concept of, it's going into the underworld, which is not necessarily a bad thing. They are opposites, and the underworld or the darkness is a place where the seeds grow, It's where things happen that's not necessarily evil or bad or negative. That's also a misconception, I feel.
Yeah, yes. Oh, to become who you truly are, to be able to rip off the labels,
Yeah.
have to go with Pluto into the underworld. You don't have an
Yeah.
option, because
No.
otherwise you're just on the surface all the time, kind of
Mhm.
looking around like a scared rabbit. To go into, because once you've kind of faced your fears and you face who you are, you're done. You can come back out, and you've got a fighting chance of really contributing something worthwhile to the world.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Pluto will take you there. You could
Mhm.
go like, no, I'm not doing that. But he'll
It's gonna go anyway.
go one way or another. Yeah. So the next big thing, obviously, is the big eclipse on September the 21st, which is the new moon eclipse. And that is on the 21st. And it's actually, I just wanted to say something about the full moon. It's called the corn moon. So
Oh,
the full moon eclipse is called the corn moon because they harvest the corn at this
yeah.
time of year. I love that.
Oh yeah, I live in a very much a farming community, so there's
Oh,
tractors coming and there's yeah, we
and
know
the
when it's harvest.
yeah, and the corn is so sacred to
Yeah,
the Native American Indians.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay, full moon. So this is meant to be kind of on steroids, this one.
yeah.
It's a beautiful moon at 29 degrees, big stuff. Again, the 29 degrees coming up.
Mm.
Virgo. Actually, it's sitting right smack bang on my moon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to this one.
Yeah.
Um,
And sorry, Sue, this is a solar eclipse and with this
yes, in Virgo.
in Virgo and
Yeah,
then it's new moon as well
it's
on the
the new
same day.
moon. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the new moon. So it's kind of when eclipse comes like this at 29 degrees, it's Virgo personified. And we all know that Virgo is all about duty, it's about work, it's about responsibility. But the big thing it can be, it wants to make the world a perfect place.
Yeah.
Virgo wants to purify things, it wants to make things perfect. And it has to live with this really kind of anxiety that actually the world is not perfect.
Mm,
So it has to deal with that all the time. But it's this sense of wanting to be of practical service.
mm.
Pisces is about spiritual service, and Virgo is about practical service.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
really important to understand the difference between service and sacrifice.
Yeah. Oh yes, definitely.
So that may well come up.
Yeah.
It's also Virgo is about the daily life, your daily routines. So yes, it's going to be an interesting time because it's making a it's making where are we? It's trining uh Uranus. So it could be just it could be because it's a trine, it
Yeah.
could be helpful disruptions, but Uranus always brings something out of the somewhere else. And so it's a disruption of old habits. But I think the Pluto, which also is trining because it's making this lovely Pluto and uh, Uranus are making this gorgeous trine together, and they're making this trine to the full moon. So there is something here about Pluto. It is a trine is empowering, letting go and rebuilding with some sort of purpose. But Virgo is also Ceres. She's the goddess of the corn. So there
Yeah.
is, and she's the only female icon, if you like, or archetype in the whole of the zodiac. So this sense of the female coming up in a very practical sense may influence a lot of people
Yeah.
globally. So
Yeah.
the women may come out more. I don't know, but in a much more practical way that isn't aggressive.
And grounded is Virgo is also very earth kind of
Earth,
yeah, yeah.
rooted
So it's
earth.
grounded, not a fiery, I'm not gonna chop your head off just yet.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. And also ruled by Mercury. So,
Yeah.
and Mercury is about the mind, but doing, that sort of sense of a very versatile mind. So maybe
Mm.
there's going to be different ways of looking at the world or practical ways. Look, this is, the past hasn't worked. Let's see how we can do it this way. So we'll
Yeah.
have to wait and see, but I think there's going to be I think it's going to be a really interesting time. And lots of astrologers are saying this is one of the most potent because it's at 29 degrees
Mm,
eclipses for a while.
mm.
So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I think it's going to be about clarity. And I forgot to say that Virgo is the healer.
Yeah. Oh
She's
yeah,
she's
very
all about
much.
health, well-being. You might feel like you want to constitute the way that your diet. She's very
Yeah.
much linked to the diet. Ceres is food. So
Yeah.
all of that kind of thing
Mm,
is all possible. and it's going to be visible in New Zealand, parts of Australia, specific islands, and Antarctica, but not so much in our uh like I'm just thinking where Pisces is. Yeah, Pisces is going to be the Piscean full moon is going to be best seen because that's a total lunar
Yeah.
eclipse. So
Yeah.
that's going to be Asia, Australia, Europe, and Africa, but not visible in the Americas. So
Okay.
yeah, so I'm not sure in Europe where you're going to be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might be able to see a little bit of that going on here, but we won't be able to see the partial solar eclipse on the 21st. And don't forget, the 21st is the solstice.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's
What
not. It's
is
the
it
equinox.
turn? I think
No, it isn't. I mean, what are you talking about, Sue? It's
it's
the
something
equinox.
important.
It's the equinox. It's where the sun stands still for 3 days.
Yeah.
So
And then the new moon. I mean, that's new start, new
yes,
beginning. So we it's
yes,
definitely
yes, yes. It's power, yeah, absolutely. So
mm,
there is going to be this amplified transformational, transformational energy going on. Eclipses can literally kickstart somebody's life again.
yeah.
And it goes on, that the effect goes on for at least 6 months.
Yeah.
So it isn't just a one day,
No.
absolutely
No.
not.
And I mean in ancient times this was big stuff, it was turning
Yeah.
points and it was yeah, they were
Yeah. Suddenly
the
the date
gods were
went
angered or yeah, the dragon, there's so many
yeah.
stories.
And I heard this wonderful thing that in ancient times they were so terrified of eclipses because they could tell they were creating almanacs BC.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they could tell when an eclipse was going to happen. Weren't they brilliant?
Yeah.
God. And they could tell when the eclipse was going to happen. And apparently, because they kind of thought that they could foretell a king's death, the
Yeah.
king would, I don't know if this is true, but I love it. The
Yeah.
king would abdicate and put some commoner in his place during the
Go
eclipse.
for him.
And then after the eclipse, if the commoner hadn't died, he'd get back on his throne again. I mean, honestly,
Oh dear. Well,
I,
you got to keep yourself safe. I mean,
Looney
it's
Tunes.
about leadership.
But they were very significant, and obviously, they were looking up at this. I can't imagine what it must have been like
Oh
when
yeah.
everything was to do with how our relationship with the heavens. It
Yeah.
must have been incredibly
Oh,
magical.
amazing. I
Ma-
mean, the connection between this, you know, it's
Yeah,
a fourth leg, we've
yeah,
distanced ourselves so much from our surroundings.
yeah,
Now with this virtual worlds and this, it's
yeah.
interesting to look back and think how amazingly connected you must have felt then. I mean, in fear as well, because you didn't always understand what was happening with things like eclipses or, yeah, disconnected from the world, the rest of the world, maybe. So it's more centralized. But wow, yeah,
Just must have been, and also, can you imagine the devic energies that were
yeah,
just zinging everywhere? I mean,
yeah,
I just can't imagine how exciting it must have been
yeah. Oh,
just
amazing.
to have these discoveries and just
Mm,
go on to work it out and be able to go, oh, we know how that's.
yeah,
They were just extraordinary people.
yeah,
Just the brilliance of the human mind, and we're all
mm,
standing on those shoulders.
exactly.
Goes
Yeah,
way back, to
yeah,
4,000 BC, to Mesopotamian times
yeah,
and
yeah,
Babylonian times, and
yeah,
I'm just in awe of what they did.
yeah. And
Oh,
we don't even know half of it. We know so little, really.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, you go back into, I've been to Mexico and went to all these
Mm,
fabulous temples, which are thousands of years old, and they were
mm.
all astronomical, um, sort of like laboratories. They
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
Just fascinating.
yeah. Because they had space and they had
Yeah.
time, really.
Yeah.
There was no clock time. It was all Chronos based. It was
Yeah.
all kind of, yeah, creativity. It's an
Fascinating.
amazing thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then our philosophy and our spiritual journey was absolutely alongside astronomy. So astronomy,
Yeah.
astrologies were the same. It's
Yeah.
only split really in the Age of Enlightenment. I mean, I know the church had a lot of repression about astronomy, but the astrology
Yeah.
accepted astronomy, but astrology was really not okay because it kind of it enables somebody to take responsibility for themselves, and the church did not want that. They want
Oh no.
the church to do that. But
Yeah.
the big split came in the Age of Enlightenment when they respected astronomy as a science, and astrology, that's a load of nonsense because you can't prove it.
Yeah.
We're still suffering from that, and that was
Well,
70.
exactly. Crazy,
So
crazy.
what
And I
is
mean, in this Kabbalion, he talks about how astronomy actually is derivative of astrology, because these hermetic teachings and influences were hidden within the symbolisms of astrology, and not everybody could understand it. So that's what made it taboo, because you had to make an effort to
yeah,
get in. Yeah,
yes, you did.
yeah,
Absolutely. It's interesting. Oh God, this is such a wonderful conversation to have another time. But
yeah.
I'm fascinated in how the ordinary people also responded to the cycles of the earth because they would have been living absolutely alongside the cycles of
Well, there's so many of that, isn't it? There was most likely 13 months, It was
absolutely.
driven by the moon. It was so connected. And then it happened.
The Gregorian calendar and the
Yeah.
calendar and the Gregorian
Yeah.
yeah.
There was even space, so they even left a gap after harvest and before, planting season or spring, which didn't have months attached to them. So it was just really a rest, a deepening into this winter months. It was a lovely rhythm to be able to follow with the earth.
That's the entering in what I love the word the liminal space, where
Yeah.
it's pregnant with possibilities, but you've got no idea what it is. You've the old bit's gone, the new bit hasn't started, and you're in this
You're
space.
just in this.
Oh, and we're not good at that.
No, but we need it, and I think it's that unknown aspect of just being. And that doesn't mean you need to be lazy or lie on the couch but just to be led by whatever, creativity or rest or yeah,
Yeah, just to be.
just to be.
To be. I mean, we can go into the phases of the moon, which we won't do, but that is a natural. That entering the liminal space is a natural space where before the progressed new moon starts its new cycle, and that's
Okay.
a
Yeah.
3-year period.
Yeah.
People are wandering around, going, "Why isn't anything happening in my life? Why is everything leaving me?" Because they don't understand. And
Yeah.
it's preparing them for this new 30-year cycle. So we've lost all this knowledge.
We have, and it has disconnected us to ourselves
Yeah.
because we are part of this rhythm of
Yeah.
this us in this universe of, planets and moon and
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. And all the rest of it. Well, I
Yeah.
hope we've been a bit all over the shop today. Well, not surprising because it's us.
Yeah, it's pretty normal.
But I hope that's helped a little bit, if not our ramblings.
Yes, it was
Well, we
lots
enjoy
of
them
fun.
anyway.
Exactly. Exactly. Thanks so much, Sue.
Oh, it's just a pleasure, and I'll see you next month, if not before.
Excellent.